The following portion of Bloom is sponsored by Turning Point of Tampa.
It's not just a problem women struggle with. Men can have an unhealthy relationship with food, too. Joining us now from Turning Point of Tampa is licensed mental health counselor Jasper. John, it's great to see you.
Great to meet you too, Gayle. Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for coming on, because I think this is a subject that's going to interest a lot of people, because typically we think of eating disorders and then we think of women, but this is something that men struggle with as well. How prevalent of a problem is it?
25% of men report that they will struggle with eating disorder behaviors in their lifetime. And in 2019, an Australian study showed that 45% of middle school boys will engage in eating disorder behavior at some point as well. That includes restricting food, skipping meals, compulsive exercise, and identifying an unhealthy relationship with food.
So what are some of the risk factors, or I guess I should say warning signs, that a man is dealing, or a boy is dealing with eating disorders?
Obsessing about weight and exercise, frequently weighing himself would be a warning sign. Obsessing about caloric intake, nutritional facts, obsessing about food labels, those are all red flags to look for with men and boys engaging in eating disorder behavior.
Now, another thing that, again, I think people identify happens more with women is body dysmorphia, but you say men and boys experience this as well.
Correct. So what a lot of men today struggle with is a term that's not clinical, but it's being used a lot in the research now, bigorexia. So men want to gain muscle mass and gain weight, and when they look in the mirror, they see themselves as less muscular than they actually are. So there's a significant obsession now with gaining muscle, supplements, abusing steroids, and you see that in the athletic community in particular.
So how does Turning Point help?
So we offer a continuum of care. We have outpatient treatment, intensive outpatient treatment, day treatment, and residential treatment. Clients that we help work with a dietitian and with a clinical team and with a medical staff. So they get recommendations, they're put on a food plan, they get direction regarding exercise, frequency and amounts that are healthy and unhealthy, and their mental health is monitored as well.
And this is a journey. I mean, this is something that you can improve day by day, and you're always there to help when support's needed.
Correct, and I think that support is more important now than ever because social media is contributing to an increase in negative body image for men. And right now, the fastest growing demographic of people with eating disorders in the United States is actually college-aged men, and especially bulimic behaviors. So again, in the athletic community, there's promotion of purging food sometimes, or compulsive exercise. So we do see an increase, and the support with men is needed now more than ever. It
is really interesting to me that, you know, social media also has a very powerful impact on young men. I mean, it really does. I mean, it's something that they scroll through, they see, and just like us women, you know, they can fall into a dangerous pattern themselves.
It does, and what I see in the men I work with is a lot of comparing with social media. Instagram and Snapchat are both very body-focused social media, so it is relatively newer that so much emphasis is put on the male body. We've always seen it with advertising, but I think with the comparing that goes on with social media, it's definitely contributing to an increase in the problem.
Yeah. Well, I know Turning Point treats men and women alike. Today we're dedicating our show to men's health, but you know, the women that love men, pick up the phone and, you know, call for help if you need it. It's great to know that you're right here in our backyard. I appreciate you coming into Bloom.
Thanks for having me, Gayle. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. And for more information, you can visit Turning Point of Tampa's website at tpoftampa.com and allianceofeatingdisorders.com online. We'll be right back.
The preceding portion of Bloom was sponsored by Turning Point of Tampa.